background up loud.
Oh, can you? I feel like when I do this.
Hello.
But that's gonna be annoying to do all night.
That is gonna be annoying to do all night.
Hello, ladies.
We talk like we have bad breath, Kyle.
I'm gonna need a stick of gum.
I'm gonna need like 3.
I'm gonna have to do this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Alright, so this looks like we have Brian Adriance in the cage right now. I was actually in my barber's chair this week, and my barber said, hey, you should come and take cage for don't cut it, man. You're just turning the background up loud.
Can you? I feel like when I do this.
Hello.
But that's gonna be annoying to do all night.
That is gonna be annoying to do all night.
Hello, ladies.
We talk like we have bad breath, Kyle.
I'm gonna need a stick of gum.
I'm gonna need like 3.
I'm gonna have to do this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Alright, so this looks like we have Brian Adriance in the cage right now. I was actually in my barber's chair this week, and my barber said, hey, you should come and take cage for don't cut it. Absolutely, it's the weirdest thing ever, right? He tells me this guy is a hell of a wrestler. So, yeah, Bailey went to school with Brian, he's a great wrestler. Let's see what he can translate to the game when it comes to MMA.
As we know, it doesn't matter what.
You have to be able to transform that into the cage. Just hold that from the cage.
So, now can you hear me?
Sue out of Watervliet, New York, making his Cage Wars debut, he is Brian Adriance. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, representing Bering Jiu-Jitsu out of Bering, New York, he is Tanner Payne. And controlling the action at the sound of the bell is Mr. Nels Larson.
You know, they call John McCarthy Big John McCarthy. I think Nels Larson is big, sexy Nels Larson.
Big, sexy Nels Larson for sure, but yeah, he's the third man in the ring this fight.
He is. He's a big man.
Indeed he is. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Both fighters making their MMA debut right now.
And
Payne
now, if you notice at home, they are wearing the shin guards. That means that they are novice fighters. What that indicates is that, again, shin guards are on, so it hurts a little bit less if you kick. But also, when you go to the ground, you cannot ground and pound to the face. You can punch to the body, knee to the body, but there is no striking to the face, and that's allowing these younger fighters and athletes and newer athletes to
extend their careers,
to get comfortable and sustain their careers.
Let's be honest, there's a lot of these guys that do get in the cage as an amateur, probably you'll do 1 or 2 fights and never fight again.
Yep.
A nice takedown right
now,
there.
We talked about Adriance's wrestling, right? He did not look comfortable on the feet.
And he just showed T-Pain what's up with the lyrics as he brought him to the ground.
Now, if Tanner's smart, he would not stand his back because that wrestler has great side control.
And like Will said, you can't ground and pound to the head, so he's looking for, you can do knees to the body, you can do anything to the body, but right now Brian's doing a good job trying to work for something and staying to the side.
Absolutely, and the novice rules really are going to cater to that wrestler in that sense because 3 minutes, you know, you can't ground and pound in the face, but you can hold control and look for position and submission.
And all fights tonight, including title fights, are 3-by-3. 3 minutes, 3 rounds. No overtimes.
You know, I question why Tanner's turning away from him. Ideally, most times, you know, coaches will teach you to turn into your opponent and bring that left knee up underneath and try to sneak it in and establish at least some sort of a butterfly guard, half guard, a guard of some sort.
But that's both guys are making their MMA debut tonight, so these are
But
where
also
you're
Tanner's
learning
coming
from
from a
mistakes.
jiu-jitsu school, it said. So maybe the coach has a different rationale there. I'm not sure, but my coach did going for that arm lock.
There it is.
Tanner identifies that he's trying to put 2-on-1. Now, he doesn't have a great angle for it, though, but it sets other things up. So if you notice, he's keeping control, he's spinning. He ended up staying inside control, which is a very dominant position.
And Brian looks like he was going to go in the full guard, or full mount, and then goes right back out the side guard.
And I question what Tanner's knowledge of jiu-jitsu really is, because look where his left arm is. It's staying right there. He's not really using it.
He's kind of pinning it.
Yeah, and it's not really pinned. He could get it out of there. I'm wondering if he really knows what to do with it at this point in this position.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% because more
under the armpit, on the hip, somewhere controlling or looking to create some angle and a distance.
And here we are, some body shots by both fighters. As Brian is just smothering his opponent, Payne, on the bottom.
And even though he's not hurting Tanner, he's going to tire him out, and he's definitely going to win the round via points if this is how it continues.
Most definitely. And anyone who's wrestled or done any sort of physical combat sport can tell you that when someone's on top of you, that's exhausting.
It's the worst. I used to hate training with wrestlers.
Yeah, it's exhausting when that pressure's on you. Heavy hips and some big shots
heavy
right
head.
now.
They like to use their head. You like to use your head.
As we got the 10-second warning as this round just ended. End of round one in the second fight of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. All fights are sanctioned by the USMTA, United States Muay Thai Association.
Tanner obviously upset with his performance in the first round. You can see it.
Yeah. Well, that was a big takedown by Brian. Once he had him down on his back, he held him there. Although Payne got out, it looked like he scrambled for a minute and then went right back to his back right away. I was curious to where he was going to go with it, but he just stayed there.
Right now, it would really behoove Tanner to try to work some distance now, since he knows his opponent's game plan is going to be to take him down. Work some distance, keep that jab out there, work that uppercut, create some angles, and try to keep this on the feet for as long as he can, because there's an obvious ability difference when it goes to the ground right now.
Well, most definitely. You can see that just from that first round.
God bless.
Thank you. I appreciate that 100%. And, I'm kind of curious to see where the second round goes, because obviously Brian wanted to bring it to the ground.
Well, and, the big thing comes in not only people's takedowns, but how are you striking? Are you striking to strike, or are you striking with some defensive striking that comes with it? So cutting the corners, hitting the uppercuts, knowing your opponent is coming in for that takedown. How are you going to deal with that?
Here we go, round two. Second fight of the night.
I wouldn't deal with it with a spinning kick opening up, but here he goes. He's doing a great job.
See, I don't think that kick really landed on the head. It looked like it skimmed the shoulder and went up. But Brian did a good job, deflecting the blitzkrieg and got the takedown.
Exactly, because Tanner went from all the way out to all the way in. There was no middle. And that allowed him to grab that leg and pull into that single leg and take him down.
Great job changing levels by Brian right there. And he's got the arm, it looks like, again. You can't really see from here.
He's looking for that arm lock, it looks like. No, he's got it pinned. And now it's actually pinned. It's going to be a little more difficult to get it out, but he should be able to pull that out. And either way right now, I'm not seeing a ton of directed movement with Tanner. I see a lot of kind of moving around, but not with intention, not mindful movement, not necessarily what he's trying to set up.
To be honest, it looks like almost like a street fight, like a kid getting beat up on the bottom. He just squirming, wiggling.
Yes.
Like you said, I'm curious to know how much knowledge he has from the ground game.
Yes, I mean, my first jiu-jitsu instructor ever, Nick Sanzo, said to me, I remember going in there first time, he said, you need to think
good job right there to escape.
Tanner Payne just using athleticism right there, using just
look at that strength. Oh, look
just pure strength and athleticism
that arm
right
is
there.
Twisted, and he gets it out. Good job by Payne, because that looked like it was pretty tight.
That was a great job.
But Brian did an excellent job hanging on and showing some real strength and power to fight it through that.
Well, Adriance comes from a wrestling background, as my barber Dave Ferrone said, but also he's, obviously coming out of Brian Bury Jiu-Jitsu, so again, a Jiu-Jitsu school, so he's comfortable here.
Most definitely is. T-Payne's trying to scissor the head, but Brian just throws those legs to the side and
that only works at keg parties.
Yeah, indeed it does.
When you're wrestling. When you work with a trained guy, that's not going to work.
See, right there, if you saw Big Nils Larson was about to interject because T-Payne was throwing shots to the head, but his opponent was on the ground with both knees.
Yes.
It's still illegal to throw shots to the head because he's a grounded opponent.
Absolutely. When one knee is down, he is a grounded opponent.
But a good job right now by Brian to control the hips.
He's doing a nice job. He's got his opponent sucked right in. He's got his
Do a little
shoulder
more
to
work
the hips.
though. I want to see a little more action transitions from these takedowns.
Well, this is what we're talking about. He's a wrestler.
Yep.
So let's see if he's a wrestler who's wrestling in the cage or a wrestler who's a mixed martial artist
Who's
as well.
evolving.
Yes, and right now I'm seeing more wrestling.
Most definitely.
And I give Tanner a lot of credit. He's trying to fight. He's working his way out of things, but I don't necessarily know if he has the technical skill. Like right now he's laying flat on his back pretty much.
And his head's pinned against the cage. He's up against the cage. There's really nowhere for him to go right now.
But right now, he should be putting that right arm underneath the armpit of his opponent and pushing, trying to bring the hips, trying to create some distance to bring his legs back in, do something.
Most definitely. 2 solid rounds for the wrestler.
And again, this is where the amateur novice rules really, really appeal to that wrestler.
Most definitely. Like we said, you can't do any striking to the head.
This is our 3rd and final round.
And we have the lovely ladies coming in here to show us we're going into round number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm excited. We didn't even get to talk about this fight yet. And this fight has been hyped up by so much on the main card, the first fight on the main card, the heavyweight, super heavyweight title fight, Travis Streeter versus Bob Buski.
This needs to have a whole separate segment right now.
I just been wanting to talk about this all night. We haven't even got to it.
This has had the most social media heat and buzz out of any fight on this card.
I've been covering MMA in New York now for about 5 years before I moved back to New York. And I haven't seen this much trash talk on the amateur level for a fight since I've been back.
We're going to have to put this on pause because rounds up for
pause
Adriance
button's
and
been
Payne.
pressed.
Yes.
And here we go. Big Nils Larson getting the judges' attention. Round 3. Here we go.
Both of them look fresh. Both of them look ready to go. Now, Adriance is obviously walking in to close the distance and go for the takedown. He's not looking to strike.
But look how square T-Payne is. His shoulders are very square to his
chin is
opponent.
up. He's square. He's looking for that one punch to the chin.
He's confident, though. Oh, there's some big strikes right there.
Yeah, he's confident with his
He's just stopping, and I think he's going to give a warning. I don't think there's going to be a point taken out.
For what?
He shot to the head while you're grounded opponent.
Oh, okay, I missed that, sorry.
But, you know, that's going to happen. First fight,
Especially
they're both
because he
moving around
dropped
quickly.
to the knees.
Yep.
It wasn't like he was necessarily on the knees the whole time.
I think Nils Larson's also warning him, checking him as well. See if he's seeing straight.
So Tanner knows he needs to win this fight by knockout or TKO.
Yeah, big 3rd round for him is required. We can hear is being warned right now. Next time,
and he knows because he definitely looked at us say that right now.
Yeah, yep. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Brian Adriance knows he needs to take this to the ground to keep it where it is.
Taking a lot of shots standing up. He hasn't been real effective. There's a big
double
deep
leg
right on the hips.
Into the cage, scoop. Tanner's doing a good job trying to defend, but he's still got the legs into that side control pinned against the cage.
But look how deep he was on that shot. His head was all the way on the hip. His arms were wrapped all the way around the hips and the legs. That sucked it right in.
That goes back to that thing. He's not really looking to strike. He's literally just looking to grapple.
Drag him down and do a little bit of ground and pound. And he can't do a whole lot, and he hasn't done a whole lot on top other than sit and pray, really.
Yeah, he's not been looking for a ton of submissions. He looked for the arm lock in the first round. But other than that, I've not seen a ton of submission attempts.
Like from both fighters, I would like to see Brian try and go for a finish, and I would like to see T-Payne get up and obviously get the finish. Either way, I want to see a finish in this round.
T-Payne is trying to bait him in. If you notice, he's trying to. You can't knock a guy out who doesn't want to be knocked out.
Yep.
The man has to be willing to engage with you to really hit him like that. And right now, Brian Adriance is doing what he needs to do to win this fight, so I really can't fault him on that.
No, I don't hate on his game plan. You know I'm a wrestler.
Listen, I hate wrestlers. I get it.
I'm a lover of the wrestlers, but this guy, I want to see him take it to another level is what I'm saying.
Yes, I want to see him work for those submissions. I want to see him, if he's that comfortable on the ground, work from side mount to mount, back to side mount, work some half guard.
Get those
if you're that comfortable in controlling the position, work the position, then the submission.
Big Nils Larson just stopped it. I think he's going to stand them up, and there we go.
And if you notice, Brian Adriance's mouth guard is half out of his mouth. He may be a little tired.
I was kind of surprised at that stoppage because that was the most work. Oh, the hit in the head.
Oh, elbow to T-Payne's jaw, apparently. Good eye by Nils Larson.
Yeah, good job by him. If they're both still throwing shots to the head, you got to know you can't do it.
Can't do elbows at all in amateur.
Fight another fight after this, and then you can do it. But that was the most active Brian's been in the fight on top. And good job getting in on the leg.
Now, see, if you notice, now the mouthpiece dropped out of Adriance. He's tired, right? Now, Tanner is not trying to circle out right now. He's just trying to hold him. He should be trying to get away from that cage.
He's doing that body lock around like he's doing freestyle wrestling.
But that's I question his jiu-jitsu and his grappling knowledge, or general MMA transition
It's like
knowledge.
anything, though, boxing, everything. You want angles. You cut the angle, it's going to be a lot harder for Brian to succeed in the takedown. So here we go. He looks like he's trying to go for a guillotine, but Brian's
He's in a bad position. You're not going to hit that guillotine. That's a bad angle. Everything in jiu-jitsu is angles, center of gravity, leverage.
And we're going to talk a lot about that tonight, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you're into angles.
10 seconds of the third and final round.
And we're up, and this is the number 2 fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the end of the fight. I'm going to have to give that 3 rounds to Brian just because the wrestling, the takedowns, no other way I can really see it, to be honest.
I give it 30-27, but just as Dana White says, are you here to fight or are you here to grapple?
I agree 100%.
I give him a lot of credit first fight in there. Sometimes it's ring rush. You want to, or not ring rush, but it's, that nerves. You want to go back to what you're comfortable with.
Like we said, they're both first-time fighters. Never fought before. How far are they going to go? How much are they going to involve? We see fighters involved. Michael Newland, great example. He was a much different fighter from his first fight to his last title fight, and he looks a completely different fighter.
Absolutely. So I really look forward to see what Brian Adriance does after this first performance. I'd really like to see him expand on his striking and his transition game a little bit, work more for more positions and more submission attempts.
Here we go. We're going to set it up to the ring announcer in just a moment, Mike Salvo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecard. Judge number 1 scores the fight 30-27. Judge number 2 scores the fight 30-27. And judge number 3 scores the fight 29-28 for your winner by majority decision out of the blue corner, Brian Adriance.